Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the LNER Community Stadium in York, where we're here for this Betfred Championship Round 26 clash, a winner-takes-all clash to decide who takes the place in the championship playoffs between York Knights and Featherstone Rovers. The teams have battled it out week on week for the best part of 6 months, and it all comes down to this quite simply. The way it lands this afternoon, a win for Featherstone would guarantee them a place in the top 6. If they lose, they're then waiting for results to fall their way, with Sheffield to play Dewsbury, which we expect that they may win with the plights that Dewsbury have had this season, and really crucially, Widnes on the road to Barrow. Barrow need to win to secure their championship status this year, but Widnes, with it all in their hands, a win for them, and they will take the final place in the Betfred Championship playoffs. So a few moving parts this afternoon, but after months of hard work for James Ford's side, it all comes down to this one game against York Knights. Both of them locked on the same competition points. Winner plays playoffs, the loser, it's out of their hands. We come into the game with just one change made to the matchday 17 for James Ford's men. Danny Addy, the captain, missing out this afternoon through suspension, and he's replaced in the matchday 17 by Wellington Albert. So Featherstone line up like this. Caleb Akins is the fullback. Three-quarter line of Gareth Gale, Josh Hardcastle, Greg Minikin, who captains the side for the first time this afternoon, and Connor Wynn. Ben Reynolds' partners Thomas Lacan in the halves. Up front for Featherstone, James Lockwood, Connor Jones and Ben Nakubawai. Brad Day, Jack Bussey, Jimmy Beckett round off the starting 13 for the visitors. On the bench for Featherstone, Gadwin Springer, Wellington Albert, Jack Arnold and Greg Eden. Maddox Jeffrey is the 18th man. York, they make just one change to the side that narrowly got home on the road at Sheffield by just 2 points, with Jacob Gannon dropping out of the matchday 17, and onto the bench comes James Cunningham. So Mark Applegarth's side line up like this. Nicar Williams is the fullback, three-quarter line of Joe Brown, Ollie Field and Joe Law, Tom Lynham, Atta Hingano partners Liam Harris in the halves. Up front for York, Jack Martin, Will Jubb and Akuba Tai, with Jesse D, Connor Bailey and Jordan Thompson rounding off the starting side. And on the bench for the Knights, Brendan Santi, Ronan Michael, Josh Daly and James Cunningham. Sam Cook is the 18th man. As I say, it's a huge game for both sides. York come into it arguably in better form, having won 6 of their last 7 games, and most notably just pinching the win on the road at Sheffield last week, a crucial win that has brought them level on points with Featherstone, who hammered Dewsbury, putting 50 points on the Rams last time out at Post Office Road. And it really is the biggest game of either side's season, the last regular season game. We will keep an eye on the other scores around the championship, of course, with Dewsbury facing off and Barrow playing Widnes. Sheffield, of course, facing Dewsbury, beg your pardon. We'll know by the end of this 80 minutes whether Featherstone's season will go any further or whether it will end here in York. And Featherstone have enjoyed good spells and not so good spells throughout the regular season, putting together a notable run of 5 straight wins earlier in the season, but losing 2 of their last 3 has put them in the position where they come into this game level on competition points, as I said, with Sheffield Eagles and York Knights. Widnes sit just 1 point back behind them, but know that a win against Barrow will have them in the playoff places. Should these two sides this afternoon play out a draw, both of them will find themselves in the playoffs. Widnes will be powerless to break into the top 6, but how often do we see that happen? Featherstone will certainly won't have a draw in mind this afternoon. They'll be going for the full 2 competition points, claiming the win and securing their position in the post-season in the Betfred Championship. And the history between the two clubs in the summer version of the game, Featherstone very much having the wood over York, winning 30 of the last 41 outings. But York getting their first win over Featherstone in a long period of time at Featherstone back in June, beating Featherstone by 34 points to 24, a comeback win, in which a landslide of points in the second half as the two sides come out onto the LNER Community Stadium. Perfect conditions. It's a little bit cold, September weather well and truly setting into autumn, but it's a dry track and should make for a pulsating clash between these two sides. who will take home the win, who will get the vital 2 points, and who will secure their place in the Betfred Championship playoffs in 2024. Will it be York Knights or will it be Featherstone Rovers? We've got all the commentary here for you live on FRTV. The man in the middle for this one is Aaron Moore. And this is the highest stakes game between these two clubs since the 1895 Cup final back in 2022, won at Wembley, of which Featherstone were the victors. They'll be looking to go same again here in this clash. And Featherstone in their change, largely turquoise, navy blue strip. York in their predominantly black, yellow trim home shirt. It's York celebrating Armed Forces Day today. As a number of the Armed Forces bring out the match ball, and a healthy crowd has turned out in York to see the action here this afternoon, as we're just about ready to get this game underway. And as we see it, Featherstone will be attacking from left to right in this first half, and they will have first use of the ball. Huge game, huge ramifications, huge prize on offer for the winner, and a nervous wait awaits the loser of this one. Featherstone have it in their hands. 80 minutes now to decide their fate. Will they be making an appearance in the Betfred Championship playoffs, or will it be season done for 2024 as Joe Brown puts boot to ball? It's taken by Gareth Gale on the try line, who hands it on to Nakubawai, who careers straight into the teeth of the York defence and will go down 15 out from his own line. Jones waits at acting half. Ball comes out to Reynolds, who's been excellent since returning to the club midway through the season. He's cut down there in the tackle of Bailey. Lockwood, of course, he did the call of coach James Ford in the middle of an injury crisis, came out of retirement and has been a stalwart in the middle, as has this man, Jimmy Beckett, signed at the same time as Lockwood from the Dewsbury Rams, has had a huge impact as Featherstone advance over the 30. Bussey is hitting a strong shot over the top there from Hingano, and that will be the last one. Featherstone will play it just shy of their own 40. Lacan, it's the second game back after a lengthy layoff. Ball takes one bounce, cut off by Williams. He'll be wrapped up there in a good chase, led by Hardcastle and Jones. And York will start their set 30 metres from their own line as Lynham is upended in a good strong challenge there from Beckett. Plenty of Super League experience, of course, Tom Lynham, hailing from York originally, as Brown, his wing partner, takes the carry. He's brought down by Nakubawai. Going to kick early here. Hingano looking for the 40-20. He's got plenty on it, but that's just going to go dead in goal. Caleb Aikens watches it go, and not the best of starts for the York halfback. Certainly looking for a little bit more than that, but it will be a 7-tackle set and a 20-metre restart for Featherstone. 2 minutes gone here in York. York 0, Featherstone 0. Both sides just getting through their respective sets of 6 without any issues. They come forward again now. Connor Wynn, 5 tries in his last 7 games, leads Featherstone in the try-scoring tally, all up with 21 for the season. Minican coming forward again. And here comes Lacan now, gives it straight off to Bussey. Bussey spinning and trying to get a bit of extra ground. He's put to ground there by Law on the halfway line. A couple of tackles still to come for Featherstone. Ball spun back in field. Lacan out the back, it goes to Beckett. Beckett just straightens things up and he takes Thompson with him over the halfway line. Put to ground 5 metres inside York territory for the first time, Featherstone. Come on the right, Lacan digs into the line. Shapes to come off his right, almost went through the line there, Lacan. Great to see him back after a wretched run with injuries this season. It's limited him to just 9 games so far. Beckett comes forward again, beats the first man, up and over the 20 now, and that will be a penalty for a high shot. And the travelling fans behind the sticks, away to our right, delighted with that call. Now then, what will Featherstone do here? Will it be, it's an early, easy 2 points if they want them, bang in front. They're going to roll it on, in fact, Featherstone. They fancy testing out York early in this one defensively. And we'll have a full set of 6
to attack the York line as Reynolds punches the ball out of play on this near touchline side. So here we go, Featherstone, and the first real attacking opportunity for either side in this game, 4 minutes in. Lacan drops off Beckett again. Beckett just backing his way in traffic. He's upended in the tackle of D there. And he will play it 15 out, 6 again, given against York, too slow on the tackled man. Lacan digs into the line, nice pass there for Hardcastle. Hardcastle spins out one, he will score! And what a start for Featherstone Rovers off the back of the penalty. It was a lovely pass, a flat pass at the line from Lacan to Hardcastle. Ever dependable Josh Hardcastle just hit the line at pace, spun out of the tackle and scores a simple try. We're inside the opening 5 minutes here and Featherstone have first points. It's York Knights 0, Featherstone Rovers 4.
And that try just coming down to sheer grit and determination, toughness from Josh Hardcastle, who after missing huge chunks of the season last year with a very serious knee problem, has been back in the side. One of the most dependable players in the Featherstone lineup. Deputised in the back row position, playing in the centres in the last 4 or 5 weeks. And he gets the first points. Just hit a lovely flat pass from Lacan there. Just beat his man, all ends up, just powered through the tackle, took a defender over the line with him, and he scores 10 metres in from the right-hand touchline. A wonderful try and a wonderful start for Featherstone, exactly what the visitors wanted. Josh Hardcastle's 5th try in 26 games. And a really important one to get Featherstone off to the best possible start this afternoon. Now then, can Ben Reynolds add the extra 2? Been excellent off the tee since rejoining the club. He guides the ball between the posts once again. And just like that, Featherstone open up a 6 points to 0 lead. 5.5 minutes gone here at the LNER Community Stadium. What have York got in response here? As the game gets underway once again, taken by Lacan, who had his fingerprints all over that first try, who just hands it straight off to Gale. Gale is brought to ground 20 metres away from his own line. He's tackled by Martin in the middle there, has come forward again here. Through Bussey, playing it in the middle of the field. Lockwood. Featherstone rolling upfield nicely here in the opening exchanges. Nakubawai stands in the tackle, keeps those legs pumping, goes down just shy of the halfway line, middle of the tackle count. Options left and right, they come left now. Lockwood, who's bent backwards, finds an offload though for Atkins, shuffles it out now to Day. Day with a little room to run and wind up, and he's brought to ground there by Bailey with help from Harris. Featherstone 40 metres away from the York line here on the last. Reynolds just dinks it back over the top. On the short side, it takes one bounce and finds touch 5 metres out from the opposition try line. The perfect set of 6 if you're a coach after points there. James Ford will be extremely happy with that as the Featherstone fans behind the post, a huge travelling support from West Yorkshire, find their voice once again. As Featherstone lead this one by 6 points to 0. Converted Josh Hardcastle try if you're just joining us on FRTV as Lynham tries to get York going forward again here. He's put to ground 15 out from his line. Nico Williams finds Brown now. 1-2 punch from the York wingers. Taken to ground by Day with help from Jones. 20 out. Jubb finds Martin. Martin, big robust carry through the middle, but he's put to ground by a trio of Featherstone defenders. On the 30, York side of halfway. Thompson stutters and steps into the line. He's brought to ground by Bussey. On the York 40, couple of tackles remaining for the hosts. And Hingano just straightens up and takes them on himself into Featherstone territory. That will be the last one. It was very damaging in the second half in the opposite fixture early in the year after Hingano as a high kick comes and it's taken well there by Connor Wynn on his own 10, and he brings the ball back with a little bit of interest, beats Akuma Tai. And he's put to ground there by Jesse D.
Try scorer here, trying to make some ground Hardcastle, but D was up quickly to meet him with Thompson, cut off his options. Minikin now, quick play the ball through the middle of the ruck. This is good, up-tempo play from Featherstone in the opening 10 minutes of this one. As Gale just takes another 10 metres up and he's brought to the ground on the halfway line by Martin. Nakabawai comes forward again. On the York 40, Featherstone are going to kick on the last here again. Reynolds dinks the ball over the top behind Brown. This time a little bit more of a shallow kick, finds touch about 20 out from the York line. So Featherstone very happy to just kick to corners, put the ball out of play and challenge York to come upfield and work their way upfield from a set restart here. And it will be the York scrum on the 20. Lynham, been busy early, but he's bundled backwards in that tackle there from Reynolds and Day. Plays it 20 out. York coming forward up to the 30 there. Law into the action. Up and over the 40 now. A good carry, gives away a lot of size and weight there. But that was a good carry from Law as the kick comes down the far side there. It's cut off on one bounce. Had to be quick to get across to it, Caleb Aikens, and did so. And the York chase is up to meet him. Ferocious chase it is. Led by Bailey and Ollie Field. Minikin steps off his right. Not much space in the offering for him. York just trying to restrict the go forward of Featherstone as Connor Jones picks up 10 valuable metres and a quick play of the ball sets Connor Wynn up now for a good carry up and over the halfway line. Playing with a tempo and energy at the moment that York are struggling to contain as Lockwood comes forward now. Put to ground, 35 out from the line. This will be the last one for Featherstone once again. Reynolds is doing the kicking again, puts it high in the air this time, looking to test out Williams. Williams comes forward for it and is immediately set up on there by a big hit from Brad Day. Connor Jones, excellent set-for-set stuff from Featherstone at the moment. And they're really trying to hem York in their own 10-metre line here. If you're just joining us live on FRTV, York 0, Featherstone 6. Hingano threatens to get through the line and finds a quick play of the ball for Harris. Harris sets off from dummy half, almost through the middle of the field up to the 40. York fans calling for a high tackle, not given by the referee. Nicar Williams takes the ball, loses it into the arms of Day. Now then, Day with a little bit of room to move, and that's a cheap turnover from York and puts them back under pressure. Featherstone in possession with a full set of 6 inside the York half. Day plays it. Lockwood now just takes the carry himself, nobody to pass to. Finds his front, 30 out. Jones at acting half. Lacan drops off Bussey. Bussey accelerates last minute into the tackle of Thompson. He will go to ground eventually in a 3-man York tackle, 20 out from the line. There's options both ways here. Which way will they go? They come left. First receiver is Lockwood. Out the back to Reynolds. Digs into the line, Ben Reynolds. Trying to take on Harrison. Left the first man behind, but Harris came again to bring him to ground. 10 metres out. Flat pass there for Nakabawai. Nakabawai standing in the tackle. Keeps those legs pumping towards the in-goal line, but he's held up in the tackle of Thompson over the try line. He'll have to go back the 10 metres for the play of the ball. Danger by no means averted for York here. Featherstone still in command of this set. Jones, out it comes to Lacan. Lacan out the back to Aikens. Aikens tries to skip on the outside of Hingano, but he met him with a good front on shot. And that will be the last one. 10 metres to the right hand side of the post. Last tackle. Lacan dinks the ball into the in-goal area here. It's picked up there by Harris, but the kick chase was brilliant, and Reynolds just powers Harris over the dead ball line for a goal line dropout, and another set of 6 coming up for Featherstone here. A near perfect start to the game from Featherstone Rovers, 13 minutes in. Really applying the pressure to York. As Mark Applegarth goes to the bench and makes his first change of the afternoon. Jack Martin off. Ronan Michael into the action. Perhaps a little bit earlier than would have thought, but perhaps it's a tactical decision. So York forced to go to their bench early. As Williams
Fires the dropout down. It's a pretty shallow one, taking on a couple of bounces there from Wynn, and Wynn back into the teeth of the York defence, and he will be tackled 30 metres away from the York line. 14 minutes gone. York 0, Featherstone 6. Featherstone looking for their second score of the game here. Second try in the opening 20 minutes would really cement what's been a really bright start from Featherstone. Jones gives it to Reynolds. Reynolds is wrapped up well there by his opposing halfback Harris. He'll play it 15 metres out. Ball spun back in field now. Lockwood hands it on to Lacan, given to Nakubawai. Nakubawai still powerful run through the middle, causing all sorts of problems for the York middles. Plays it centre field, 10 metres out. Lockwood, out it comes to Reynolds. Reynolds out to Aikens, flowing pass over the top to Wynn. Has Wynn got space to squeeze it in the corner? The York defence did well to close him down 5 metres out. Last tackle for Featherstone. What have they got on this play? Reynolds, kick across field, looking for some chasers. It's dropped by D to Nakubawai, just has to fire the pass over the top. Can Gale get into the corner here? Gale will score in the right corner! And fantastic play, heads up play, keeping the ball alive from the mistake from York. In fact, it's been ruled back. It's been ruled back for offside. Can you believe that? The Featherstone chasers have been ruled offside from that play. It was Jesse D who claimed the kick. The kick went into the path of the York man. He put the ball down, and Nakubawai was the man who picked it up, handed the pass on to Gale. But Nakubawai deemed to have been offside, it must have been, and a certain try there for Featherstone chalked off. And a real let-off for York there. It was a poor error from D inside his own 10. As Harris finds touch on this near touchline side, 40 metres away from the York line now. And this will be the best field position that York have had all game, really. What a missed opportunity for York, for Featherstone there. As the man in question who was at the centre of that call, D, keeps hold of the ball this time and is tackled a couple of metres inside Featherstone's territory now. Thompson, ball playing in the middle, gives it to Harris. Harris on to Bailey. The pass is knocked backwards there apparently by Brown, who comes again, and the Featherstone fans behind the sticks not happy. They thought there was a knock on there. York able to continue with this set as Harris just finds Michael. Michael straight into the action. Put to ground there by Beckett. Jubb. Thompson out to Hingano. Out it comes to Williams. Williams into the line, finds Lynham. Lynham one-on-one with Gale, who does a good job with help from Hardcastle in the end to put him to ground 10 metres out. Last tackle for York. Williams, first receiver, fires the pass out to Hingano. Hingano, a hurried kick over the top. It's knocked on by Brad Day, and this will be another set of 6 here for York. Riding their luck a little bit here, the Knights. It wasn't a great kick as Harris looks to dummy and go through himself. Liam Harris, it's an easy one, a strolling in fact, as he just took the ball off the ruck, just dummied, went through some flimsy Featherstone defence who never really recovered off the mistake from Day off that kick. And he gets the York's first try. And when it looked like at the other end of the field, less than 60 seconds earlier, that Featherstone had their second score of the game, York have come right down the other end and will have a kick now to level the game up through the try to Liam Harris. It's York 4, Featherstone 6. And a disappointing 90 seconds or so for Featherstone. Gale looked to have scored in that right corner, but Featherstone deemed to have been offside from the Ben Reynolds kick. York then found touch and went down the other end of the field. They got themselves a repeat set, perhaps fortuitously. The kick from Ate Hingano wasn't a good one. It took a deflection, but Brad Day just managed to get a stray hand to it, but wasn't able to reel it in. And off the resulting play of the ball, Featherstone's defence clocked off on the try line. They didn't have enough numbers back behind the line, and Liam Harris just dummied his way through the line to score under the post. Nikhil Williams converts from bang in front to lock the scores up now. It's York Knights 6, Featherstone Rovers 6, with 18 minutes of the game gone. So here we are, almost a quarter of the game gone, nothing to choose between the two sides exactly.
The type of contest we thought it would be. What have Featherstone got in response here? The kick comes down, taken on the try line by Lynham, who dummies to give it and just keeps hold of it himself. He's a big body, Tom Lynham. As Michael comes forward now into the teeth and the tackle there of the middle pairing of Beckett and Lockwood. Michael will play it 25 away from his line. Thompson out the back, it comes to Harris. Harris on to Bailey. Bailey shrugs off the first tackle, can't get away from the second man though in the form of Reynolds. Thompson again now at first receiver, just takes the tackle. Good low tackle under the ball there from Lockwood. A couple of tackles remaining for York. They'll play on their own 40. Williams just trying to catch a couple of tiring forwards out through the middle of the field. He goes down on the halfway line on the last tackle. Jubb fires the pass out to the try scorer Harris, puts it high now. Testing one for Akins, but not under any real pressure, takes it safely himself. And he's put to ground 15 metres away from the line. Just keeping an eye on the other championship scores. Barrow currently leading Widnes by 8 points to 0, and Dewsbury 6 points to the good against Sheffield. We'll keep an eye on those scores as the game continues. Nothing to choose between the two sides at the moment here, live on FRTV. York 6, Featherstone 6, 20 minutes of the game gone here at the LNER Community Stadium as Gale plays it. Just short of the 40, Featherstone side of halfway. Springer juggles the ball in the tackle there, did very well to keep hold of it, Gadwin Springer. Lacan fires the pass out to Hardcastle. Hardcastle, Featherstone's try scorer, taking Kumatai with him, another couple of metres forward. Good run from Hardcastle on this right edge. He'll play it. Lacan is going to kick under pressure here from 40 out. It's taken by Williams over his shoulder. But again, the chasers arrive to make sure he doesn't progress any further than his own 10. Real set-for-set stuff here in this clash. You can feel the tension between the two sides. The stakes couldn't be higher in the context of either side's season. Lynham. Good shot over the top there from Bussey, helped out by Jones to put him down 25 away from his own line. Michael. Good tackle there from Miniken. In there to help out was Bussey again, and Springer, as I mentioned, just injected into the action. First change of the afternoon for Featherstone. As D tries to keep those legs pumping, goes down on the 40, York side of halfway. Last tackle. Featherstone have done a good job to restrict the York go forward as Harris fires the kick down, taken by Wynn. Wynn with a little bit of real estate to chew up here before he finds a defender. He's going backwards here, and Brown hurrying him towards the sideline, and he's gone very, very close to going into touch. How he stayed in, I've no idea, but for Featherstone's sake, it was a good job that he did as Day trying to bring the ball forward. Hardcastle. Good low tackle there from Jubb. He goes down 2 metres short of the halfway line, bang in the centre of the field. Nakabawai. Good carry once again, leaving York defenders on the floor. Finds a quick play of the ball. Bussey now against a retreating defence through the middle of the ruck. Good low tackle from D, just does enough to knock him off his feet. Last tackle, 20 metres out. Lacan puts it high again here, looking to make a contest. Lynham gets up very high and takes it above his head, and will play it quickly in that corner. Law across field, wrapped up by Springer. An awkward looking tackle there with Day in to help out as Nikhil Williams shapes to go right, comes back through the ruck, looking for some space, but York have chewed up 3 tackles here. They're still inside their own 20 as Jubb tries to get them going forward. Nakabawai puts him to ground, 25 out. 23 minutes of the game gone here, 6 apiece. Nikhil Williams with his second carry of the set. And Springer looking to lend some weight to that tackle. York are going to have to kick from deep here. Hingano puts it high, he's put plenty on that one. And it takes one bounce. It's an awkward one for Gale. It bounced back in field, but the big man able to get to the ball, but he's swallowed up immediately by his opposite number, Lynham and Law. It's Hardcastle taking those tough carries, but bundled backwards in the York tackle. Akabawai just receiving some running repairs here, still on the field.
Very, very slow to get back on side. I think it's just a case of him being fatigued from the opening exchanges here, been very physical in the middle of the field. As Springer plays the ball 5 short of the halfway line, they come back again through the middle. Beckett this time hands it on to Lacan, on to Bussey. Bussey tries to beat the first man. Hingano comes again to put him to ground. Featherstone are going to kick from inside the York half here. Lacan short side, puts it high. Williams takes it, beats Jones. Jones does just enough to knock him off his feet, and Hardcastle comes again to finish the job. York start their set 20 metres away from their own line. Lynham crabbing across field. Not many yards forward there for the big wing man. He'll play it 25 out from the York line. Brown skips off his right foot. Good contact up top there from Beckett to bend him backwards. He'll play it on his 40. Thompson. One of the most experienced men on the field here, Jordan Thompson, of course. Plenty of Super League experience, this time put on his back with a trio of Featherstone defenders. Harris hands it off for Bailey. Bailey standing in the tackle. Is put to ground 5 metres, Featherstone side of halfway, on the last tackle. Daly onto the field, hands it on to Harris. Harris puts it high, hasn't got a great deal of distance on this one, but taken very well there by Aikins in the sun as the sun comes out in York. It wasn't an easy take, that one, but to come forward for it, it's a brave piece of play from the Featherstone fullback. What a bonus it's been for the last couple of games to get Aikins back in the side. As Gale plays it on the 40. Hardcastle come forward, and that will be a penalty. A high tackle just creeping up high there. We're just hearing around the stadium that Dewsbury have doubled their advantage against Sheffield. And that does have ramifications for this game. If Sheffield do lose, then it gives either of these sides who may lose this game the opportunity to still potentially play a part in the playoffs. We'll see how that one unfolds. At the moment, 6 apiece here in York. Hardcastle off that penalty, takes the tap himself. He'll be brought to ground 15 out. Bussey, short side play, looking to try and catch people out. He bumps away from War, but D comes from the inside to halt his progress. He'll play it 10 metres out. Lacan crabs across field, straightens the line, gives it to Reynolds. Reynolds on to Day, hits that line on the left edge. Good defence on show from York to close the door on him. Featherstone 10 metres away, just to the left-hand side of the post. Arnold onto the field, has lost the ball in his first touch, and not the impact he would have thought of making when coming on off the bench. It was a difficult pass under pressure, but one he arguably should have taken, and York take over possession with Lynham bumping away defenders, but not really making a great deal of territory forward. He will play it on his 20. We're approaching the half-hour mark here in York. York Knights 6, Featherstone 6. Josh Hardcastle and Liam Harris, the try scorers in this one. As York working their way upfield again. D will play it inside his 30. Hingano finds the pass out to Harris. Harris dummies, straightens the line. Harris looking to find some space on the inside. Good defence. An alert to the danger was Brad Day. Held in the tackle there, Harris. The York fans on the opposite side baying for a penalty, not given. That's a huge shot there from Day over the top on Bailey. Just knocked him off his feet, put him on his backside. Great defence as Harris kicks on the last again. A high hanging one. They're continuing to put some testing kicks forward. This time Aikins not able to get it, but the bounce was a kind one for Featherstone, straight into the arms of Connor Wynne. Flat pass there from Minikin to Aikins. It was never on. The pass was overrun slightly, but just after Featherstone had been so good at rolling through their sets, it's the first bit of poor play really from Featherstone inside their own half. A pass that they just didn't need to throw. The first mistake inside their half under unforced error, which gives York an opportunity, a full set of 6 starting 30 metres away from the Featherstone line here, and a chance for York to take the lead for the first time in this game. Featherstone, a big test in their defensive line coming up. It's just a little bit of overplaying. Minikin came across the field. You could see what he was trying to do, linking up with his fullback, but the pass wasn't where it needed to be, and Aikins put it down. York now. Harris just returning to the scrum after receiving some attention. Scrum feed is won. Hingano, dummies, tries to take the line on himself. He's put to ground there by Bussey and Lacan. Williams waits an acting half. Hingano slow to get up and play that one as Michael drives it forward inside the Featherstone 10 here on just the second tackle. Daly, out the back it comes to Hingano, out to Harris. Harris out now to Field. That's a great bit of defensive work from Minikin. Well, aspirations of taking Field over the sideline, managed to stay in. Santi takes the pass from Harris. He's put on his back 10 metres out. Brendan Santi. Daly. Out it comes to Thompson. Thompson to Hingano. Hingano, flat pass there for D. D loses the ball in the tackle, and it's into the arms of Jimmy Beckett, who has a little bit of room to move now. Jimmy Beckett. Good defence on shore from Featherstone to force the error. And Beckett will play it 30 metres away from the Featherstone line. Frantic in attack from both sides. Just feel like both sides need to settle down a little bit with ball in hand. As Hardcastle up and over the 40. Good carry again from the centre. Plays it 5 short of halfway. Springer. Out the back it comes down to Reynolds. On to Day. Day running in that left channel again. Is met by Harris once again. Good battle developing. In fact, it was Field, the chief tackler in that one. Arnold. Dummy to give it to Springer. Keeps hold of it himself. Just pumps the legs forward and he'll take the ball up to the York 40. Quick play of the ball. Lacan digs into the line. Had nobody to pass to. Eventually goes down in the tackle of D. This will be the last one. Reynolds. In fact, it's Jones just scampering down the short side. Dinks the ball in behind the line. It's picked up by Williams, who beats Jones. Tries to counter-attack. Door closed on him by Gareth Gale. York start their set 10 metres, 15 metres away from their line. Lynham. Short side raid. Beats a man up to the 30. Hardcastle doing enough to slow down the play of the ball. Field. Field beats the first man again. A couple of defenders dropping off tackles there for Featherstone as Hingano back through the ruck, looking to test the honesty. Beckett puts him to ground, but York all the way 10 metres inside Featherstone territory now. Williams, short side play there for D. Good low tackle from Hardcastle. Real high octane set there for the Knights. Last tackle, Hingano just gives the ball on to Santi. They manage to smuggle the ball out to Harris, who puts it high again here, looking to put Wynn under pressure. It's another testing kick. It's taken a bounce. It's all the bounces up for Santi, and Santi will score on the left-hand side of the post. And can you believe it? This time, York are called for offside. Sensational scenes from both sides. Both teams having tries chalked off from kicks. This time, Brendan Santi, the man deemed to have been offside from that Liam Harris kick. It was a towering kick. And as we've just heard, the try's been awarded around the stadium, but the try, in fact, has been chalked off. Brendan Santi, and you can see Liam Harris, with the way that that pass came out, was standing behind all of the York teammates. In fact, between them, Wynn and Akins made a real mess of that kick. Let it bounce, and it bounced favourably into the arms of Santi, but he was offside, the correct decision. And both sides see a try-scoring situation go begging in the first half. Featherstone already up to the halfway line, though, off the back of that penalty. The ball out to Minikin now. Minikin gives it to Wynn. Wynn's into the backfield. Wynn trying to go around Williams. Williams does just enough to knock him off his feet, but still going Connor Wynn on the inside. Can they get the ball wide here? They're inside the 10 metres. It's a really slow play of the ball. Reynolds, out it comes to Lacan. Lacan loses it under pressure from Hingano. And Featherstone, you have to think, have butchered another half chance there. Connor Wynn was released down that left touchline. It was great sleight of hand from Featherstone. He had men in support, Connor Wynn. He decided to back himself, cut back in field. Nicole Williams did enough to knock him off his feet. And from there, the next play of the ball was poor. It was a poor play from Featherstone. The pass came out to Lacan, who was under all sorts of pressure from Hingano. He put the ball down. And everybody will have a chance now to just catch their breath.
Widnes have taken the lead at Barrow, leading by 10 points to 8. Sheffield have got on the board against Dewsbury. Dewsbury currently leading by 12 points to 4. As it stands, both of these clubs, Featherstone and York, will be playing in the playoffs. A draw favours both of these two sides, but neither side will be looking for a draw. 6 minutes to go to the break here. York 6, Featherstone 6. Josh Hardcastle try converted by Ben Reynolds, and a Liam Harris try converted by Nico Williams. The points so far in this game. You're listening live on FRTV. Santi, who thought he'd got the try to put York in front for the first time, plays the ball. Daly hands it on to Hingano, who's done a lot of running. Pass intercepted, it's knocked into the hands of Lacans and then collected by Field. He couldn't quite bring it in, the little halfback, and the tackle count restarts for York. Joe Law, the man, just retaining possession for the Knights. As Michael plays it, Williams, flat pass there for Santi. Santi knocked backwards by good tackle from Arnold there, but leaves a defender on the ground, plays it quickly for Daly. Daly skips out a dummy half, bumps away from Jones. And York have the ball 30 metres away from the Featherstone line. Pass comes out to Harris, gives it on to Bailey. Bailey skiddling a couple of defenders, eventually put to ground there by Brad Day. 20 metres away from the line. Thompson strains the line through the middle of the field here. Jordan Thompson, he's going for the line. Great cover tackle from Jones to put him down a metre short. This will be the last one for York. Daly waits at acting half, fires the pass out to Harris. Harris fires the pass over the top for Brown. Brown in the corner, in the right corner. Has he got the ball down? It was a diving effort from Joe Brown. The referee awards it in that far corner. And in the final 5 minutes of this first half, Joe Brown gets the try that puts York in front for the first time in this one. It was an acrobatic finish off a long looping pass from Liam Harris. And York have the breakthrough score just before the break. It's York Knights 10, Featherstone Rovers 6. And it coming again off a little bit of fortune, you could argue, for York. They got effectively a tackle count restart on the halfway line with Tommy Lacan getting a hand to try and intercept the pass. It went into a York man's hands, and they worked their way downfield. Liam Harris doing a lot of damage to Featherstone defensively. Just took the pass at first receiver against a retreating defensive line. He fired the ball over the top, 20-metre cutout pass onto the right edge, taken by Brown, who just dived in acrobatically in that far right corner. It's a hell of a finish, in fairness to him. And a vital score for York just before the break. Frustration for Featherstone. York with the opportunity here with the kick from Nico Williams. Tight to that right touchline to put the home side 6 points in front, approaching half-time. Crowd silent for this one. Williams just taking his time. Steps up to add the extra 2. The crowd will tell you that he's put that one to the left-hand side of the post, so the gap remains 4 points. York Knights 10, Featherstone Rovers 6. Inside the final few minutes of this first half. What a game this has been, what a contest. It's had its controversial moments, and it's had some great rugby being played by both sides as Featherstone get the game back underway off the boot of Reynolds. Harris takes it off the boot, gives it on to Michael. Now Michael skips across field. Good tackle there by Jones with Day. Santi upended in the tackle of Reynolds. Good defender Ben Reynolds for defending in the halves there as good field across field. It's Ollie Field who draws a penalty there from Featherstone. Minican not happy with that defensive effort there from Springer, just hanging out an arm. And that's an easy piggyback upfield for York now. York with the kick to touch on this near side. Liam Harris, the man finding touch. And York will start their set now on their own 40. Joe Law brought to ground. 3-man Featherstone tackle, 5 short of the halfway line. And Garner gives it on to Michael. Michael bumps away from 1. He's going backwards in the tackle here. A great piece of defence from Featherstone. 3 men in there to drive Michael back. Best part of 15 metres. Thompson trying to take things forward up to the halfway line. Goes down 5 short. Wrapped up by Jones. Daly. To Michael, nearly went without it. Finds the ground this time for a gain of a couple of metres. Come left, York. Hingano skipping back through the middle of the ruck, looking for space. Finds an offload there for Daly. Daly, dummies, nearly gets through the line there. Good defence on show there from Reynolds. There's a few holes starting to appear in the Featherstone line. 20 metres away from the line, York on the last. Harris fires the pass out to Field. Field is put to ground. Good defence on that far edge from Greg Miniken, forces the turnover. And Featherstone will get the ball back 10 metres from their line on that far left touchline side. Win. Through the middle of the ruck. Not many yards in the offering for him. Santi's all over the top of him. Slow play the ball there. Miniken backing his way up towards that 20-metre line. Michael, chief tackler in that one. Akins to Gale. Gale skiddling a few defenders, still going forward, Gaz Gale. Great carry up to the 30. As the half-time siren sounds, Edwin Springer has the final carry of the first half, and that will bring an end. An enthralling 40 minutes of action. Featherstone got the perfect start inside the opening 10 minutes when Josh Castle crashed over on the right edge. Ben Reynolds converted to give Featherstone a 6-0 lead, but since then York have slowly built their way back into the game off the back of some excellent running play and kicking game from their halfbacks, Ata Hingano and Liam Harris. Liam Harris catching Featherstone napping to get York's first try before supplying the pass over the top for Joe Brown to dive in a few minutes before the half-time break. 1 from 2 from the boot of Nicole Williams leaves the half-time score here at the LNER Community Stadium. York Knights 10, Featherstone Rovers 6. Featherstone still have everything to play for here, still well and truly in their hands. Approaching half-time around the grounds in the other championship fixtures, of course. Widnes managed to overturn an 8-point deficit, currently lead Barrow by 10 points to 8, but sensationally at the moment, Dewsbury leading Sheffield Eagles by 12 points to 4. It could have huge ramifications for who sits inside the Betfred Championship top 6 at the end of this 80 minutes, but we have all of our focus on FRTV on the second half action coming up in a few minutes' time. Half-time at the LNER Community Stadium. York Knights 10, Featherstone Rovers 6. Hello, welcome back to the LNER Community Stadium in York, where we're at half-time here in this Betfred Championship Round 26 clash between York Knights and Featherstone Rovers. The score currently York 10, Featherstone 6, and huge ramifications for the winner or conversely loser of this game. The winner certainly plays playoff rugby in 2024. The loser will have to wait and see what the other scores around the grounds are. Barrow, of course, facing off against Widnes. The Widnes Vikings sitting just 1 point adrift of these two sides this afternoon, and Sheffield currently trailing to Dewsbury. If Sheffield and Barrow are to win, the loser here will play no further part in the season. But both sides back out on the field. York with first use of the ball. The kickoff comes down to Michael, who is pushed back in a great tackle from Arnold. Featherstone attacking from right to left as we see it in this second half, and looking to erase that 4-point deficit with a try to Joe Brown. York's Joe Brown in the right corner just a few minutes before the half-time. The only difference between the two sides at the moment. Featherstone had their moments, but currently with some work to do as Hingano comes off his right foot. Back through the middle of the field, he's put to ground there. And he's lost the ball in the tackle of Arnold there. Fantastic bit of defence on show from the substitute forward. And already Featherstone with an opportunity deep inside the York half here to go on the attack. What a leg up early in this second half for Featherstone, who made a really good start in the first half. Try to Josh Hardcastle after just 5 minutes, but York, after going behind early, grew slowly into the game, and off the back of some great kicking game from Liam Harris, causing a few issues for Featherstone, worked their way back into the lead with 2 tries to 1. Featherstone with the first attacking opportunity of this second half, however. Scrum 20 metres out. Lacan feeds it. Jones fires the pass out to Reynolds, on to Minikin. Minikin into some space, and Field having to track back and make that tackle with help from Santi. Featherstone now 1 tackle gone, 10 metres out. Arnold, straight up carry, takes it forward, put to ground by Daly. Arnold taking a knock in that tackle. Reynolds fires it onto Aikens. Pass wasn't where it needed to be. Aikens just has to go down and burn a tackle there to avoid giving away a penalty. Jones, no options there for him. Day. Communication in this set's been a bit poor from Featherstone. They haven't thrown a great deal at York. Still 5 metres away. Pass comes out to Beckett. Beckett fires the pass out to Lacan. Lacan out to Aikens. Aikens stutters, steps, straightens the attack. He's put to ground on the inside by Santi. Pass comes out to Lacan. Lacan onto Bussy. Bussy standing in the tackle. He's driven backwards. That's surely, I was going to say, it looked like some high contact there, but not given. And that's just going to be a turnover. And you'd have to say, after a really good attacking opportunity for Featherstone, that was probably arguably their poorest set of the game with the ball in hand. It was stuttering, it was clunky, didn't really ask any questions of the York defence, and York back in possession through Lynham. Lynham held in the tackle there, put to ground 15 away from his line. And Garner, is Williams in fact gives it to Michael. Michael cutting across field quite a few times here, but not gaining much traction forward as he's brought to ground by Arnold. Santi, who thought he had a try in the first half off the kick of Harris, but ruled to be offside from the kick. Similarly, Gareth Gale had a try pulled back for the same infringement in the lead up earlier in the piece. So both sides leaving a try out there as Thompson comes forward. Been a stalwart for them in the middle of the field. He'll play it 5 metres short of the halfway line. Daly comes short side for Williams. Just straightens things up. Nicar Williams. 5 metres into Featherstone territory on the last. Harris, who's done the majority of the kicking, puts another one high here for Aikens. Aikens comes forward and takes it well at the back. Win. Flat pass there for Minikin, who almost went without it. And a pass that didn't need to be thrown. Featherstone don't need to be doing this. It's just tough carries at this end of the field. As Wynn crabbing forward, almost lost the ball there. Just managed to keep hold of it himself. Hardcastle through the middle. Featherstone's sole try scorer in this game so far. Just under 5 minutes of the second half gone. Live here on FRTV, it remains York 10, Featherstone 6. As Lacan fires the kick downfield, it's taken on the full by Nicar Williams, and Lacan comes to meet him, and they drag him back with help from Bussy. He'll play the ball 25 metres away from the line. It's a slow play of the ball. Lynham. Big bullocking run from him, cut down by Bussy with help from Gale. Flat pass there for Williams. It's Ata Hingano, I beg your pardon, who's taken the line on plenty of times so far, Hingano. Pass now. York coming forward up and over the halfway line. Jesse D it was playing it. Santi through the middle of the ruck. Still going Santi. Just keeping those legs pumping, going backwards. Up to the 30, Daly on the last tackle. Hingano puts the kick up this time. It's a testing one for Aikens. Aikens gets off the ground and he's put to ground immediately by Law, who's the first man to meet him. So real set-for-set stuff so far here in York in this second half. Neither side able to trouble the scorers so far as Gale. Big carry through the middle of the ruck. He's put down 25 out, Hardcastle. Good carry there from Arnold. Scrapping for every metre, up to the 40. This will be the last one for Reynolds. Reynolds hooks it back, trying to get it over the head of Brown, who cut it off on the full. How's the kick chase from Featherstone? It's not bad by Day and Minikin, so York take over possession on their own 30. Harris waits at acting half, gives it to Field. Ollie Field, put to ground there. Trio of Featherstone shirts around him. I feel like the longer this game goes on and the longer the scores are locked, the more nervous either of these sides will be. As we mentioned, a certain playoff place for the winner. The loser, depending on other results, may find their season over. As York up and over the halfway line through Hingano. Hingano out the back to Williams. Williams over the top. It took a touch from a Featherstone man, so this will be the tackle count wiped down, and this is the opening parts that York were looking for. Gareth Gale, I think it was, who got a stray hand to that one, as York now on just the first tackle through Thompson up to the Featherstone 40. 30-metre line, in fact. Hingano back on the inside through Williams. Williams is absolutely monstered by Gadwin Springer. Williams, in fairness to him, does well to stay on his feet. Plays the ball 10 metres out. Pass comes along to Michael. Michael is put backwards in the tackle from Reynolds. Featherstone just buying a bit of territory in defence on that play. Daly to Harris, who's wrapped round to the left-hand side of the ruck. Fires it out to Hingano. Hingano off his left foot, straightens the line, finds the offload to nobody. And it's taken a deflection and over the dead ball line, and that will be a 7-tackle set and a 20-metre restart. Scramble defence from Featherstone was excellent because Hingano had opened up the space, but the last pass was a poor one, and a chance goes begging for the host this time. Minikin plays it 30 out. Hardcastle. York are flying in off the line here. And the crowd rises on that far side. Nakubawai back on the field now. He's replaced Jack Arnold in the middle. Reynolds to Day. Day, route one, the only way he knows, up to just shy of the halfway line. Quick play the ball for Jones to Reynolds. Reynolds off his left foot, straightens things. He's put to ground in the tackle there of Daly, Field and Bailey. Beckett, flat pass there for Springer. Springer, good strong contact on him. Stop his progress. 40 metres away from the line. Reynolds is going to kick. Hanging it high this time. Another tester for Williams, who takes it. And he's upended in the tackle of Day. Neither side willing to blink here in this one so far in the second half. 10 minutes gone in the second half of the LNER Community Stadium. Remains York 10, Featherstone 6. York working their way upfield. Widnes have extended their lead over Barrow. They lead 18 points to 8. Dewsbury still leading by 16 points to 4. In fact, extended their lead over Sheffield. So at the moment, could well be Sheffield who miss out on the playoff places. York being driven back here in the tackle of Nakubawai. Williams it was heavily involved. This is the last tackle. York are going to have to kick from deep. Harris punches it down the middle, taken on the full there by Aikins. Aikins has room to move and he brings the ball right back up to the 40-metre line, Featherstone side of halfway. Best defensive set of the second period for Featherstone so far. As Gale trying to advance that ball up and over the halfway line and does so just about. Featherstone make another change. James Ford going to the bench, Springer off, Lockwood on. Yet to see the likes of Wellington Albert in this one. And Greg Eden, of course, hasn't seen any action yet either, as Lockwood bumps away from Santi, who comes again and puts him down inside, just inside the York 30. Few tackles still in the bag for Featherstone. Flat pass comes out now to Aikins. Aikins straightens the line, he's into the backfield. Caleb Aikins, can he beat that other man? He's brought to ground by Williams, a desperate tackle. Quick play of the ball. It comes out here, they've got space out wide. Lacan fires the kick over the top. Is it a good one? It's taken by Line and it's knocked on and grounded by Gareth Gale, but it's a knock-on given against the Featherstone winger. So close for Featherstone once again. Lynham had got up
He took the pass, he lost it behind, he took the kick, he lost it behind him. It bounced into the path of Gale, and Gale just not able to pull it in cleanly. And a certain 4-pointer goes begging for Featherstone again. Really hope that at the end of this game it's not a question of what if and chances missed, because that's the second scoring opportunity that slips through the fingers of Featherstone. York back in possession on their 40. Brown. Just working in traffic. Put to ground 5 short of halfway. York currently working with a 7 tackle set here, of course, off the error from Gale in the in-goal area. Williams skips into the line, fires the pass out to Lynham. Lynham trying to go on the outside, fires the pass in field, and he's left it behind there, the York man, and it's into the path of Lockwood, who gives it to Aikins now then. They're going to try and counter-attack. Aikins is wrapped up by Santi, just to limit the damage there. It created space on that left edge, York. Lynham had got away on that left edge, fired the pass in field. Joe Law couldn't take it in, and James Lockwood, of all people, there to pick up the crumbs for Featherstone. Hardcastle will play it, a couple of metres short of the halfway line. Beckett still driving himself forward. Reynolds dummies through the line there. Ben Reynolds, he's got a man in support. Day's into the clear here, but he's brought to ground by Brown. Brown puts him down 2 metres short. They've got to go wide here. Aikins, the York defence has regrouped to kick into the goal area. It's taken a deflection, and Joe Brown dives on it. And a half chance goes unpunished there by Featherstone. They'd created the space. It was Reynolds got into the backfield, handed the pass on to Brown. Onto Day, I beg your pardon. Joe Brown brought him down and then doubled up on his efforts to drop on that loose ball. In hindsight, the kick from Aikins, not the play that was needed. And York survive once again. They come forward. Williams has had so many touches, so many carries in this game so far. James Cunningham, the man onto the pitch for York, playing in the middle. Harris kicks it from just shy of the halfway line on the last. Low trajectory kick cut off there on the 20 by Wynn. Wynn bumps away from 1 and goes down on the 30. A few slow retreating Featherstone players here, trying to get back behind the ball as Gale brings the ball forward. Hardcastle could carry through the middle. Bussey, big carry again, up and over the halfway line. He's left Cunningham on the ground there. Aikins burns a tackle there on the York 40. Pass comes out to Reynolds on the last. Puts it high. Taken again by Williams, who's dropped the ball, and it goes over the dead ball line, and the first real blemish from the York fullback. It was a kick that was probably far too long, really, but the York fullback got a hand to it, trickled over the dead ball line, and just like that, Featherstone have themselves a goal line dropout and another set of 6, an attacking opportunity. Dropout comes from Williams. Didn't get a lot of distance on it. Taken by Minikin. Minikin will start the set here, 20 metres away from the York line. 15 minutes of the second half gone. York 10, Featherstone 6. But Dewsbury currently still leading Sheffield. So all to play for here as Nakabawai is brought to ground 10 metres out, just to the right-hand side of the post. Jones out to Lacan. Lacan short pass there for Lockwood. Lockwood goes down 5 metres away from the line. Flat pass there for Day. Day's knocked to the ground there, and a good tackle, in fairness, from Bailey. A couple of tackles still to come. Beckett, they're up on him quickly. The tackle, low tackle there from Daly. Last one for Featherstone. Pass comes out to Reynolds. Reynolds stabs the kick into the in-goal area, and Brown has no option but to just drill it over the dead ball line. Another set of 6 coming up here for Featherstone, who just start to apply the pressure a little bit more. Just draining the petrol tank of York. Williams this time puts a little bit more distance on it, cut off on the 40 by Wynn, who just takes it straight now into the York defensive line, and Featherstone with a full set of 6 starting on the York 30. What have they got in attack here? Reynolds hands it on to Lockwood. Lockwood stands in the tackle, brings it all the way up to just short of the 20. Lacan to Reynolds. Reynolds out the back, it comes to Aikens. Quick pass out to Hardcastle, but the York defence regroups and puts him to ground. 10 metres out. Pass back in field. Lacan double pumps, gives it to Nakubawai. Nakubawai had Lockwood on his shoulder, kept hold of it. And the big forward will play it 10 metres out, bang in front of the post. They come right now, Featherstone, out to Lacan. Lacan comes off his right foot. Tommy Lacan looking for space, fires an offload out. It's an untidy one. It's picked up off the bootlaces by Akumatai. And once again, Featherstone just not able to pull the right rein close to the line. And a let-off for York once again at the far end of the field, who look to clear their lines now. The score remains York 10, Featherstone 6, 22 minutes of the game remaining. Dewsbury have gone further in front against Sheffield. They lead by 22 points to 4, and Barrow have cut the deficit to just 4 points against Widnes. As the kick comes from Harris down the middle of the field, cut off by Aikens. Aikens skips into the line, and he's put to ground by Field. Day up to the 40, York side of halfway, second tackle. All to play for still here in this one, live on FRTV. Can Featherstone get over the top of York and book their place in the Betfred Championship playoffs in 2024? Still remains to be seen. A quarter of the game, just over a quarter of the game remaining. Jones skips out of dummy half, put to ground there in the tackle of Cunningham. Lockwood, ball playing to Lacan. Lacan gives it on to Bussey. Bussey cut down in a good low tackle there from Daly. Featherstone have got a kick from about 35 away from the line. Lacan doing the kicking this time, puts it high. Into the path of Williams. Williams is taken there. What a kick chase that was from Ben Reynolds. A huge play, an inspiring play from the Featherstone standoff, who earns another set of 6 and another goal line dropout for Featherstone. He was the only man leading the chase on the kick from his half-back partner. He timed his run to perfection. As soon as Williams caught it on the try line, bundled him over the try line and manufactures another 6 tackles. Featherstone just need to be patient here. Build on the field position of territory. They don't need to score in this set. The deficit is only 4 points. They just need to keep making York work, keep making them make decisions in defence, as Lockwood is put to ground 30 metres away from the Featherstone the York line once again. Beckett gives it on to Nakubawai. Nakubawai 18 metres away from the line. Jones to Lacan. Lacan, out it comes to Reynolds. Reynolds flat pass there for Day. Day taking defenders with him. Harris had a devil's own job to put him to ground, did just enough with help from Williams. Lockwood, flat pass there for Nakubawai, who loses the ball. Now then, they're trying to manufacture a play here. York has put the ball to ground into the hands of Bussey, who touches it down. But the first infringement is the knock-on from Featherstone. And once again, Featherstone just not able to come up with the execution to get the vital score. It was interchange of passing between the two forwards. Lockwood, the pass to Nakubawai just went over his shoulder. Poor execution again. And York have the scrum 10 metres away from their line. Line them now. Met by his opposite number, Gale. Plays it inside the York 20. Law. Wrapped up in the tackle of Nakabawai. York still in their own 20 after 2 players. Cunningham. Trying to scrap his way forward. He's stopped by Beckett and Lockwood. On the York 30. Tie. Still standing in traffic. Put to ground for a gain of about 5 metres. A couple of tackles still to come for York. Thompson has been one of York's best up and over the halfway line once again. That'll be the last one for the Knights. Come left side, Hingano. The kick is charged down. Now then, who's going to get back to that one quickly? It came off Day, and Williams comes back for it. And it's a 6 again. Or a set restart, in fact. The tackle count wiped down for the charge down. And York, again, perhaps fortuitously, end up with another set of 6 here. And Williams now has been stung in that tackle. Getting up to play the ball very, very slowly, waiting for the referee to blow some sort of penalty, not given. Field, second carry, plays it just short of the halfway line. Hingano onto Cunningham. Cunningham. Shot over the top there from Bussey. Now then into York, to Featherstone territory come York. Thompson takes the pass from Hingano. Ball all the way up to the 30-metre line now for York. Hingano digs into the line. Pass comes out to Williams, who seems to have shrugged off that earlier knock. And he's brought to ground 25 away from the line on the last. Short side raid now. Hingano hooks the ball back through the middle of the field. Well read there by Reynolds. Great play again from Ben Reynolds. And surely a flop coming in from York and eventually given by the referee. It had to be. And it's Law, the man who was second man in on the tackle, far too late. The penalty comes and an easy clearance now for Featherstone. So Reynolds will be the man to find touch on this far side. As we've got 16 minutes to go here at the LNER Community Stadium. Still all to play for. York 10, Featherstone 6. No change to the half-time score as Lockwood plays the ball on the first. Albert into the action for the first time this afternoon as York are rallying in defence here. And Featherstone have lost the best part of 10-15 metres in 2 carries there off the back of that penalty. And now they're offside again here, York. This time inside the 10. Poor discipline from York. Not happy with that call, the partisan home crowd. But too far, too quick off the line for the referee Aaron Moore's liking. And Featherstone get another penalty. Featherstone with a penalty to find touch on this near side. There's just a York man receiving some attention. It's Hingano, the man who's receiving some running repairs. He's okay to carry on. As the game just pauses for a moment. 15 and a half minutes to go. York 10, Featherstone 6. Featherstone want to get themselves back level here. They want to claim the 2 points and guarantee themselves a playoff place. If they're not able to overturn this, then it will be in the hands of other results. As Albert careers into the York line, advances the ball up to the York 30 on the first tackle. Tackle count wiped clean again. There's 6 again. Nakabawai now, this will be just the first tackle. A golden opportunity once again for Featherstone here to get back level. Aikins, that's the pass to Day. Day has to go down.
Reynolds. Pass out to Lockwood. Lockwood, straight up carry, just shy of that 15-metre mark. Lacan, first receiver. Out it comes to Albert. Albert loses the ball in the tackle. And that's been a real feature, unfortunately, of Featherstone's second half display. They've had so much territory, so many opportunities, but just keep turning the ball over time and time again. And Albert, a moment he'd like to forget there, just onto the field in the last few minutes, in fact, just losing the ball in contact. And another cheap turnover goes the favour of York. And time starting to become a little bit of a factor here for James Ford and Featherstone. Widnes have extended their lead over Barrow. They lead by 22 points to 14. But crucially at the moment, that's playing into Featherstone's favour, perhaps, is Dewsbury are leading Sheffield by 22 points to 4. It will come down to the points difference at the end of the game to see if the scores remain like this, who will take that final playoff spot. Featherstone are now found offside. The frustration mounts for the visitors. Inside the 10, and an easy let off and upfield now for York once again. How often do we see it where sides turn over the ball and then compound that error with a penalty? Featherstone guilty of doing so. As Harris finds touch on that far left side, York will start their set 5 metres into Featherstone's half now. Law taps it. That's the pass out to Hingano. Onto a tie who leaves Jones on the ground. And Jones has been left dazed by that challenge here. The referee stops the clock. Connor Jones is back on his feet here, but you'd imagine that there will be further ramifications for this one. Connor Jones definitely left dazed on the ground there. You'd imagine there may be a HIA coming for the Featherstone hooker. In fact, the physio is saying he's A-OK to carry on, as is the toughness and tenacity of Connor Jones, one of 2 players in the lineup this afternoon alongside Greg Minican to have played 30 of Featherstone's 32 competitive matches this year. What a feat that is. And Connor Jones, they need him out there for the final 12 minutes of this one. He seems okay to carry on. He shrugged off that early knock and he's straight back into the action here, affecting the tackle on Jordan Thompson. But York in possession, 40 metres away from the line. The next try in this game, crucial, as Bailey makes the error in the tackle of Albert and Jones. And what a response from Jones, getting up and under the ball, forcing the error. As Wynn back in possession now for Featherstone. 11, just under 12 minutes to go. Featherstone trailing by 10 points to 6. No change to the half-time score here. Nervous final 10 minutes incoming as Hardcastle works his way upfield. Jones has in fact come from the field. Wonder if there's been a call from the touchline. He's had to come off the field, and Greg Eden into the action for the first time in this game. It looks like Caleb Akins is going to play, deputise at hooker, with Greg Eden at fullback. In fact, Thomas Lacan's deputising in the 9 role as Reynolds puts it high from 20 out, trying to put Williams under pressure. Williams gets off the ground and takes it well. He's brought to ground by Day, 5 metres away from his own line. Field comes forward for York. Penned inside the 20 here, York. Brown, upended. Good tackle under the ball there from Reynolds. Cunningham driving the ball forward. Cunningham put to ground 30 metres away from the York line. This will be the last one. Featherstone doing a good job to retain York inside their own half as Hingano, wobbly kick down that far side, taken. A couple of bounces by Gale, who just charges back into the line. A strong tackle there from York. The Featherstone fans thinking he was caught high. It'd have to be pretty high to tackle Gareth Gale illegally. Springer finds the offload for LeCans and Ty swallows him up. So York upping the ante again defensively here. Springer this time keeps hold of it up to the halfway line. 4 tackles gone. LeCan skips out a dummy half. Tommy LeCans into the backfield almost. He was brought to ground. He's still going and he has to go back and play the ball. Just losing a little bit of momentum there as Lockwood drops the ball cold. It goes into the arms of Thompson now. And York take over possession again. Well, how many mistakes have Featherstone made in this second half? As Field is driven back in the tackle of Lockwood, who's furious with himself. Tingano still getting some running repairs for York. Brown up to the halfway line. Daly on to Williams. Williams no options, just has to take the ball himself. Brought to ground by Lockwood and Day. Again, 5 metres Featherstone side of halfway. Just under 9 minutes of the game remaining. York 10, Featherstone 6. Dummy through the line is Harris. Harris trying to go around the fullback. Liam Harris beats another man. Harris is going to straighten up and score under the post. And could that be the try out of nowhere that seals the game for York and seals a playoff place for York Knights? Liam Harris just took the line on himself. He skipped through the middle of a couple of tired Featherstone forwards. He beat the fullback. He beat the cover defence. All ends up and scores under the post. And with 8 minutes to go here at the LNER Community Stadium, York have the first try of the second half and the breakthrough that could condemn Featherstone to waiting to see what happens with other fixtures to see if their season will continue. It's now York City Knights 14, Featherstone Rovers 6. Frustration for Featherstone, who've had their chances at the other end of the field. But it has been the halfbacks of York that have steered them into this position. The kicking game and running game of Ata Hingano and Liam Harris, and on show again there, Liam Harris just taking the line on himself, skipping through the line, rounded the fullback and rounded the cover defenders that kept coming for Featherstone. In fairness, they were scrambling back desperately, but Liam Harris having the pace to get to the line under the post, his second of the game. And has put York out now to an 8-point advantage. Nicar Williams from a kick from bang in front to make the deficit 10 points. Williams, a relatively easy one from 10 metres out, puts the ball between the posts. Scoreline now, York Knights 16, Featherstone Rovers 6. Six minutes, 15 seconds remaining. And what is crucially keeping Featherstone in calculations at this point is the current score over at Dewsbury. Dewsbury leading Sheffield by 22 points to 8. Still time remaining for Featherstone here, but this could come down to points difference, win percentage difference, as the kick eventually bounces the short kick off into the arms of Nicar Williams. And the frustration continues to build for Featherstone, who just couldn't get the bounce of the ball there. The kick-off was a really shallow one from Reynolds. It did bounce the 10 before Nicar Williams cut it off. Now York back in possession in Featherstone's half once again through Lyman, plays it for Daly. Thompson takes on LeCan, who puts him to ground. Daly to Ty. Standing in traffic of the big men there, put to ground by Albert and Springer. 30 metres away from the line now, York. A try will certainly seal this one. As he digs into the line, Hingano, but he loses the ball. Williams collected it, but that will be a turnover. Now then, Featherstone need to be quick here. We're inside the final 5 minutes. 10 points the difference. Featherstone scrum feed, time is off. The referee just manoeuvring the scrum into the middle of the field here, not packed it quite where he wanted it to be. Just over 4 minutes of the game remaining. Featherstone need a try, and quickly here in the... We'll only have another 3 or 4 possessions. It's a bit of messing around with the scrum here. Still haven't been able to pack the scrum properly. If you're just joining us live on FRTV, York 16, Featherstone 6. As Eden, off the scrum win now, skips into the line and is put to ground on the Featherstone 40-metre line. Day. Brought to ground, 5 short of the halfway line. Springer up and over the halfway line. Short side play now for Aikins. Aikins digs into the line, gives the ball out to Minican. Minican put on the ground there. A metre in from the far touchline. In fact, it was Hardcastle, I beg your pardon, on that far side. Aikins fires the pass back into Springer. Springer to Lockwood. Lockwood's into the backfield. Can Lockwood find some support? Still spinning in the tackles. James Lockwood goes down, 15 out from the line. They need a try here, Featherstone, on this play. The kick comes out for Reynolds. It's taken out of the air by Wynne. It's gone backwards. Williams collects it, and he's put over the touchline. In fact, he stayed in field, but it's given us a knock-on against... In fact, it's not, it's play on. And the penalty now goes against Featherstone. Once again, just too quick off the mark. If you could hear that around the ground. Barrow have cut the deficit to just 2 points over Widnes. Widnes holding that slender 2-point advantage. But crucially in the context of this one, Dewsbury have extended their lead over Sheffield Eagles. They lead by 28 points to 8. Dewsbury have known their fate. They'll be relegated or finish bottom of the championship for weeks. But one last act of defiance from the Rams, putting a real spanner in the works of Sheffield's playoff hopes. Could see Featherstone still participate in the end of season playoffs despite defeat. What's increasingly looking like defeat here. We're inside the final 2 minutes. York still leading by 16 points to 6. Just the one converted try to Liam Harris, the difference between the two sides in this second half. Featherstone have had opportunities, but only really have themselves to blame. With ball in hand, have squandered chances as York looking to put the ball wide. They're brought to ground on the halfway line. Bailey plays it. Harris, the hero, 2 tries this afternoon for York. Thompson will play it slowly. Harris on the last tackle again. Takes the kick off. It ricochets off Reynolds and into the arm now of Minican. So this will be the last set of 6 in this game. Featherstone are going to fall short on the day here. We'll have to wait and see, as it looks like Dewsbury are going to win sensationally over Sheffield. That was the one game of the week that we thought perhaps would certainly go the other way, the way that the Rams have played this season and the tribulations they've been through. But this could mean that despite defeat, Featherstone may still take part in the end of season playoffs. It's Featherstone in possession here, the final 20 seconds. The offload has knocked the ball on there, Hardcastle. York celebrate, they know that the job is done now. They will certainly play in the playoffs. With a win here over Featherstone, this will be the final few seconds of the game. Still waiting for the scrum here on halfway.
We're going to have to see how everything plays out at the end of this one. Featherstone will fall to defeat here in the final game of the season. They will stay on 26 competition points. York have locked up a top 6 finish.
28 points, I beg your pardon. York have locked up a top 6 finish. We'll just have to see how Dewsbury's sensational win over Sheffield, or what looks like a win at the moment, they're 20 points to the good in the later stages of the second half. We'll have to see what effect that potentially has for Featherstone's hopes.
As York come forward, Santi. Clock has run out. Be barely more than a
Couple of minutes left in this one now. York 30 metres away from the line.
The kick from Hingana in behind the line.
Dabbed it to the goal area, and Hardcastle collects, but he's driven over the dead ball line there by D, and this will be another set of 6 coming up for York. Just rubbing it in a little bit there. Goal line dropout coming here as the siren sounds in the background. And that is the full-time siren.
And a frustrating afternoon for Featherstone, who started the game exceptionally well. Josh Hardcastle
Getting the opening try of the game after just 5 minutes. But from there, they stuttered and stumbled with the ball despite opportunities as York built their way back into the game.
With 2 tries in the first half to Liam Harris and Joe Brown to give them a 6-point lead. It was a hardly fought physical second half in which there was just 1 try.
And it was a brilliant individual try from Liam Harris, who grabbed his second of the game, that put
York out to a 2-score advantage.
Featherstone, despite toiling away, couldn't get themselves back with that crucial score
and fall to defeat here at the LNER Community Stadium. We will have to wait and see. York will certainly play in the playoffs this season. James Ford's men will now have to wait and see what the wash-up is from the other results. As it's currently Widnes still holding on to a lead by 2 points against Barrow. We don't know whether that game's over yet, but if it is the case, then Widnes will have booked their place to play in the playoffs as well. But sensationally, Dewsbury Rams, who've won just 3 games all season, leading Sheffield by 28 points to 8, and that may still mean that Featherstone may scrape in to the top 6. There's 1 minute to go. There's 1 minute to go at Dewsbury. So currently, I've just been informed, that will mean that Sheffield and Featherstone both end the season on 28 points. And currently,
Featherstone's points difference is 20 points better than Sheffield's. So sensationally, we came into the game saying that Featherstone needed to win to secure their position in the playoffs. That is true. They haven't been able to do that. But
in one of the fixtures that I believe not many people saw coming, Dewsbury are winning convincingly against Sheffield with just a minute or 2 remaining. And if that stays as it is, that could well mean that Featherstone end up finishing 6th in the championship. So Dewsbury are going to win this game against Sheffield Eagles, and that will mean
that Featherstone, despite not winning today and it being out of their hands, will finish in the top 6.
So disappointment on the day for James Ford's men. Certainly won't be happy with parts of their performance, but due to fixtures going their way around them, Featherstone may still find themselves playing in the playoffs. Dewsbury claiming, I was a bit generous with Dewsbury actually, they've won just 1 game all year, and what a time to claim their 2nd win of the season. They've been resigned to the fact that they're finishing bottom of the championship for a long time now, but 1 more act of defiance on the last day of the season, beating Sheffield. has given Featherstone a chance to take part in the postseason here, but it's finished here at the LNER Community Stadium. Full time, it's York Knights 16, Featherstone Rovers 6. Live on FRTV. Thank you very much for listening. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.